Hello, everyone. You are warmly welcome to Tech for You GH Consulting. This is 90 Days SL Skills Mastery Challenge. And as usual, we spend 10 to 15 minutes of our time every day learning something new in Excel. So today is day 43. And today we are focusing on introduction to pivot table. This week 8, we'll be looking at summarization, data summarization, and then so we are focusing on pivot table today to look at it. So for the last few sessions, we have been using functions like SUMIF and then the average if and COUNTIF to aggregate our data set. Whilst functions are uh, incredibly powerful, they required us to manually create the structure that we always use and manage the cell referencing as well. So today we stepped into the powerhouse. Everybody call it powerhouse of Excel data analysis. And that is pivot table, has the power to summarize the data in seconds for us. And a pivot table will help us to do that. So let's get into today's business and then find out. So the question is, what is a pivot table? A pivot table is an interactive menu-driven engine that allows us to summarize data. So in simple terms, a pivot table is a tool in Excel that actually helps us to summarize our data, whichever data that we handle. If our objective is to get a summary of it, then the pivot table will help us to summarize it into rows and columns and help us to do that. So if you have heard about it before, that is pivot table. Very, very simple and straightforward. They help us to summarize our data. And then we're going to do that. So what is the concept behind it? The concept behind it is that to really understand the table, we need to understand the 4 quadrants that we have. So let me just show you something here. So this is the pivot table interface that when we start, we will see it. And with this pivot table interface, we have 2 sides. The first size we see here is called the report view. This is where the table will be drawn. This is where the report will be created for us. And this side is what we call the pivot filter, or the filter or to add to it for the report. So the filter page. And we have about 4 quadrants. In fact, we can talk about just 5 sessions. 4 quadrant and 1 session. So the first session is what we're going to talk about, and we try to understand. Your role in this analysis phase is to understand what you put at each of the quadrant, and it will help you to summarize the data. You don't need to put in any formula. So we have what we call the rows. So the rows are this quadrant. So 4 quadrant, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the rows, we have the columns, we have the values, and then we have the filter. Let's quickly look at the meaning for each of them and how we can use it. So under the row, any data field placed here will display its unique values vertically. So whenever I put something and I drop here. So if you look at the top here, we can see that these are the headings of the data, that's the column headings of the data that you want to analyze. So if I pick the consultant and then I drop it in the row, it means that all the consultants, unique consultants that we have in the data set would arrange itself in a vertical way, so on the row side. And then if I pick it into the columns, it means that it will also arrange on the horizontal way. And so that is how it shows. So the column field also placed here displays the unique values horizontally across the top, ideal for time series, month, and all that. So if I want to put it here, I'll just drag it or just get and drop it here, and then it's due for it. So we have done the rows, we have done the columns. Now the calculation part is at the values. Whatever you want it to calculate for you, whatever you want it to aggregate, count, sum, percentage, you put it here. So if I pick the consultant and I drop it at the row, and I pick that the consultant and I drop it at the value, it's going to count the number of times each consultant has appeared in the data for me. So that is what it does. It aggregates the data, either summing it up or counting it, or you can do the maxi, all the calculations that you do in a percentage wise and so on and so forth. It will deal with it and put it there. Now, the last one we talk about is the filter. So the filter is also going to sieve the data and would only allow the ones that you check or you allow to be part of the data analysis that you are doing. So if I pick the consultant and drop it here, and I pick the same consultant and drop it here, and check off some consultant, it means that the aggregation that will come, those consultants will not be included in it. So that is how the filter also works. So we are going to see them in a demonstration in shortly. But first of all, let's look at the golden rule of raw data. So before you can handle data effectively, there's what we call proper data set, or the golden rule of data. So a pivot table will completely break or give incorrect total if your source data is dirty. So the proper data set, or the rule of the golden rule of data, simply suggests that you need to make sure that the data you are going to use for the analysis is clean. So there are certain things that you need to fulfill in order to display that the data is clean. And there are 4 things we quickly have to know. First of all, you need to know that every single column has a unique descriptive header in the row. So for this particular demonstration, what it means is that all the columns that I have in my data set must have a column headers. Like we beautifully, you can't have it in a situation where there is no column header on one of them. It will not allow you to be able to do pivot table. So you must make sure that all of them display column headers. That is the first one. 2, there's no complete blank rows or columns in the data set. What we mean by no complete blank rows is that you must check that the data is not complete like this. There's no blank row like this. If you do that, it means that the data is separated. The top is different from the bottom one. And so when you run analysis at the top, it will not include the data at the bottom one. So that's why the golden rule 2 is very important, so that your data is not separated. It is all together. So always make sure that it is together. Now, the same rule also suggests that we don't have a complete data break for the columns too as well. So your column is very complete. You don't have any empty column in it. When you see the empty column, what you see is that the 2 data set is separated from each other. So you cannot run analysis on it. If you put the pivot table here, it will not include this one. If you put it here, it will not include the right one. So that's why we say that you should have a complete there shouldn't be any complete empty or blank column or row in the data. All of them should look complete. How do you check in case you are holding or handling a very huge data with huge column? How do you check it? So to check the rows to see that there are no complete empty row, just select any of the column headers, hold down your control key on the keyboard and press the arrow down, so it will jump to the last. When it jumps to the last, then it tells you that there is no complete data. You can also do the same thing for the horizontally to check if there's no complete blank column in it. Select any row, hold down the control key, and then hit the right arrow, and then it moves here. The second one you can also check is that if all the data set has a heading, it means that automatically all the column is complete. We don't have it now. So that is for rule number 2. Now rule number 3 is that there's no merge cells in it. You can't merge any of the cells within the data set. So all the data sets, you can't say that your data set is merged like this, and then you have one set. When you put a pivot table on it, it will not work. All the data sets should be single cells, not multiple or double cells put together. And there shouldn't be any complete. Lastly, there are complete blank rows or columns around the data set. The reason is that the data should not be joined to any other information. Otherwise, it will be part of the analysis and it will change. So you should make sure that there's a complete column, complete row around the data. So the data is free from any other information that is on the same spreadsheet. If that is met, that means you are ready to do your pivot table. So let's quickly go into it and see how we write our first pivot table, and then we close the session on this particular one. All right. So pivot table, like we said, is to summarize the data. So the first pivot table that we talk about to summarize the data is maybe try to answer this question. We have this data with the receipt ID, consultant name, the region, the client sector the consultant belongs to, and the fees amount that needs to be paid to that consultant. So or the fee amount that each consultant has paid. So we can answer the question, how much fees paid from each region? How much fees paid from each region? So quickly, if you handle this data and your boss asks you how many fees came from each region, how do you do it? That's where we use a pivot table to help us with a simple summarization. So now let's see. You can select, because we have satisfied all the criteria at the top here, it means that our data is clean. You can select any part of the data, any cell within the data, and then you go right to the Insert tab. And then when you click on it under Tables, you see Pivot Table and see Recommended Tables and Tables. Our objective is on the Pivot Table. We will come to the Recommended Table, but let's choose the Pivot Table first. So when you click on the pivot table, you say select from table or range. So we have a range, we are selecting from the table or range. Or you can also have the option to select from data source. That's one when we move forward, we will get to see that. But let's look at it from this perspective. Now this pivot form, table or range, a dialog box will appear. And we need to look at it. First of all, select a table or range. It has already selected it for us because we selected any cell within the data. So that place is done. Then we come to the second item. Choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. So there are two possible ways. You can decide to open a new sheet so that when you click on it, Excel will open a new sheet in the same workbook that you have opened and place it on it, or you can also direct it to be put on an existing sheet. So for this particular one, let's try existing sheet, and then let's put it here because we just want to answer the question. So when you select the existing, then you define the area you want to put the report, and then the last one is that you can choose whether you want to analyze the multiple tables or you add the table to a data model. We have not gotten to how to build data model yet, so let's just click OK and then move on. It is running this because this I have here is inside. Okay, so this is my pivot table report. It shouldn't have conflicted with any other information. So then I see my quadrant here. I have my headers here, client ID, consultant, region, client sector, fee amount, just as I have it on the data set. So what I want to do is that I want to find how many fees were paid from region. So first, I'm interested in getting the region and I'm interested in fee amount. So I'll put the region at the row, meaning I want it to line up on the row. And then for the fee amount, it's going to be calculation. So I'll click it, drag it, and put it at the value, or I can simply check the box by it, and then it's automatically moved to the value side for me. Let me stretch it. So with this, you can see that we have Ashanti region. It summarized the total fees that came from there. We have the Greater Accra, it summarized. We have the Northern, it gives you the fees, and then the Western, it gives you the fees. With no calculations, with no formula, Excel has been able to completely summarize the data that I have here in terms of looking at it in terms of the fees from different regions for me. And that is very brilliant and beautiful. Now, the same calculations, we can also answer question number 2. Let me just pull it up a little bit so that we can see both. Now, the question number 2 is how many clients paid fees from each client group? So we have the client sector here with the client group, or let's say the client sector represent the client group, and we want to know how much fees were paid from that side. So the same, we can select any part of the data because it met our criteria at the top here. Go to insert, hit pivot table, and then select from table or range. You can also do a shortcut with run, but we will take time to look at all the shortcuts that we have, and then we'll do it. So let's see. So first of all, we have satisfied the first condition, selecting the data set. That's why we have the dancing ant around it. Then the second is to choose where we want to put it. And for purposes of this, we choose existing and then select the existing area. Then hit OK. Then we get our reports pane and then the report. Here we set the client sector we want to know. So we pick the client sector, we drop it here, and then we get agribusiness, banking, education, healthcare. So we can pick the same client sector and drop it at the value so that it counted the number of times for us. And you see it has counted it for us. We could have also used the fee amount and put it at the value here. And then we right click on it, and then we show summarize value as count. But we'll come back to look at how the calculations are done in Excel. That is why completely I do like this, and then we get it done. So how many client sector we've been able to use a pivot table to answer it. So this is how we do the pivot table. This is just an introduction to pivot table, and we'll keep on doing to the advanced level of pivot table and help us to use it to summarize the data. Don't forget, this is the 90 days Excel skills challenge, and today is the day 43, and we are looking at introduction to pivot table. We will end it here. Kindly get the training material and then practice on it. And tomorrow we'll look at the aggregations and other calculations that we do in pivot table. Thank you very much. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. And also share the link with other friends and let all of them come for us to learn and improve ourselves together. Thank you very much for watching, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.